Hello and welcome to English Parliamentary News. I'm Rizky Hawadi and this edition will present all the latest and interesting information around the House of Representatives of the Republic of Indonesia. The Speaker of the House of Representatives of Republic of Indonesia, SETYA Novanto, ensures the discussion of the revision on Law No. 15/2003 regarding terrorism criminal acts to be completed immediately in the near future. According to Novanto, it is an agreement between the Parliament and the President that aims to combat terrorism, which is increasingly worrying.
Speaker of the House of Representatives of Republic of Indonesia, SETYA Novanto, held an iftar event with President Joko Widodo and state institution leader in his official residence, Widya Chandra Residential Complex, Jakarta. This event was also attended by ministers of work cabinets, heads of government agencies, and several Indonesian parliament members. Speaker of the House SETYA Novanto says currently Special Committee of Terrorism Eradication Bill along with the government are conducting discussions and harmonization on the substance of Terrorism Eradication Bill draft. According to Novanto, a synchronization is required between Indonesian National Police or Polri and Indonesian National Army or TNI in the effort of optimizing terrorism elimination in Indonesia.
Untuk bisa segera bisa kita selesaikan, dan juga mengenai terorisme itu juga sebaiknya memang semuanya bisa bersama-sama antara TNI dan Polri. Dan ini memang semuanya kehendak pemerintah dan juga DPR bisa menjabatan ini supaya bisa selesai dengan secepatnya.
SETYA Novanto continues, the House of Representatives and the government are currently trying to harmonize the duties and responsibilities of TNI and Polri that are related to the drafting of Terrorism Eradication Bill, where the process of harmonization is expected to be completed immediately. Novanto assessed the reinforcement of counter-terrorism law is not only to fulfill the command from the President, Mr. Joko Widodo, but also as a form of the House obligation in executing its duties to realize the state's interest.
Ya, kita coba di DPR kerja keras, tinggal sekarang nanti pemerintah akan kita terus mengadakan harmonisasi mengenai tugas dan tanggung jawabnya antara TNI dan Polri supaya semua bisa sinkron. Ya. Oh, isu itu saya mendukung.
Fajar Ilhami, Kristio, and SETYA Dpr Parlemen report.
Commission 5 of the House will immediately ratify the draft of Architects Bill into law. The House hopes the presence of the architects-related law it could result in more qualified architects, who will play an important role in realizing the development of socially oriented development.
Speaking after the recent meeting between formulated team of Architect Bill, the Ministry of Public Works and Public Housing, the Ministry of Research, Technology and Higher Education, the Ministry of Manpower, the Ministry of Empowerment of State Apparatus and Bureaucracy Reform, and the Ministry of Law and Human Rights, the member of Commission 5 of the House, NENG MARHAMAH ZULFA says. The House hopes that the draft of Architect Bill will be completed soon. NENG adds, the draft of Architect Bill will not only responsible for directing and building creativity, but will also rule about ethics in understanding the development that puts forward social and community aspects.
Karena payung hukum bagi pelaku arsitek di Indonesia, dan harus juga dibuat regulasinya. Karena apa? Jadi mereka juga dalam hal berkarya, bukan dalam arti untuk mengatur atau mematikan kreativitas ya arsitek tersebut.
The member of Commission 5 of the House, SYARIF ABDULLAH ALKADRIE, says the House has been adjusting the draft of architect bills starting from the problem mapping to the authority of architects. SYARIF ALKADRIE explains the architect bill will later be able to improve the quality of architects to compete with foreign architects. Even local architects can be accepted abroad.
Bagaimana keterlibatan antara pemerintah, kemudian asosiasi, ini itu yang kita selaraskan. Kemudian sanksi lantas dalam rangka juga meningkatkan daya saing.
Zikri Dwi Utomo, SETYA Dpr Parlemen report.
Commission 11 of the House of Representatives of Republic of Indonesia supports the move of Bank of Indonesia, which cooperates with Indonesia National Police in the effort to combat illegal money changer, which has been indicated as a medium of money laundering transaction and other criminal acts.
Speaking after the plenary session at Nusantara II Building, Jakarta, member of Commission 11 of Indonesia House of Representatives, FERY KASE affirms the permit for money changers must be tightened, since it is important to avoid the use of money changer as a means for money laundering from criminal proceeds. FERY adds all sectors, both government and Bank of Indonesia law enforcement officers as well as the community are encouraged to cooperate in eliminating existence of money changers or places that has the potential to become illegal money launderers to be closed and dealt strictly.
Tidak terpantau, tidak terawasi dengan baik, sehingga akhirnya kan bisa terjadi proses-proses money laundering, pencucian uang, ataupun mungkin ada unsur-unsur lain seperti misalnya dimanfaatkan lewat jalur-jalur tikus seperti itu untuk duit ini bisa beredar secara liar.
Member of Commission 11 of the House, DONNY IMAM PRIAMBODO emphasized the supervision of Bank Indonesia and Financial Services Authority or OJK is important to the existence of money changers as well to the circulation of foreign money in Indonesia. According to DONNY, this step is taken to maintain of public's loss due to exchange rate of foreign currency which burden the people with its additional fees.
Terus terang memang keberadaan money changer ilegal ini bisa dimanfaatkan sebagai peredaran daripada uang palsu maupun tindak pidana pencucian uang. Bahkan peredaran daripada uang asing yang dipakai untuk alat pembayaran di Indonesia itu pengawasan juga kurang.
Siva Mario and SETYA Dpr Parlemen report.
Regarding to the macroeconomics assumptions, which predicts economic growth in 2018, reaching up from 5.4 to 6.1%, the House of Representatives of Republic of Indonesia demands the government to focus on funding village funds in order for national economic growth to be in line with even distribution of welfare between villages and cities in Indonesia.
Speaking after leading the recent plenary session regarding the government's response on the House fraction's views towards the macroeconomics and the principle of fiscal policy on 2018 fiscal year, which represented by the Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani. Vice Speaker for Economy and Finance Affairs of the House, Taufik Kurniawan, says, the assumption of economic growth proposed by government is moderate, which means the assumptions are prone to the inclination of global economy. According to Taufik Kurniawan, the dynamics of global politics, especially with the tension happening in the Middle East, has impacting Indonesia, especially in global oil price aspect. Therefore, Taufik Kurniawan demands the government to revive the society-based economic sector and add the allocation of village funds in the draft of 2018 proposed state budget in order to minimize economic gap between rural and urban communities.
Ekonomi yang menyentuh masyarakat, kerakyatan, UMKM itu menjadi faktor memperkecil adanya disparitas ekonomi antara makro dan mikronya. Dana desa itu tujuannya adalah selain untuk membangun infrastruktur pedesaan juga untuk mengurangi Gini rasio dan mengurangi disparitas antara ekonomi yang kuat dengan ekonomi yang lemah.
Meanwhile, the member of Commission 11 of the House, Wilgo Zainar, says, based on the economic growth of 2016 to 2017, which tends to be stagnant, Wilgo Zainar assessed the assumption needs to be reviewed since it's not yet realistic. Wilgo further expect the government to take economic potential into account that will able to boost state revenues and drive Indonesia's economic cycle in order to trigger economic growth rates.
Nah, kalau mengejar dari sektor perpajakan, saya kira perekonomian walaupun sudah mulai bergerak, tapi belum menunjukkan sebuah angka optimisme. Saya kira daya beli masyarakat akan turun. Nah, pertumbuhan kita salah satunya didorong oleh tingkat konsumsi. Nah, konsumsi juga menghasilkan produksi menghasilkan pajak.
Ayu Ridwan and SETYA Dpr Parlemen report.
For the very first time, the government sets the anniversary of Pancasila on June the 1st as a national holiday. It is stated in Presidential Decree number 24, 2016 regarding the anniversary of Pancasila.
Speaking after attending the recent ceremony at Parlemen Complex Senayan, Jakarta, the General Secretary of the House, Ahmad Junaid, says Pancasila was first declared by Insinyur Soekarno on June 1, 1945, to explain the need for Indonesia to have the guidance of life as a nation and state. Therefore, the celebration of Pancasila's anniversary is expected to become the momentum that can raise national awareness in facing globalization and free market era.
Berbeda-beda, baik dari agama, baik dari suku, ras maupun budaya. Tapi pada tanggal 1 Juni itu telah diperoleh kesepakatan bahwa Pancasila sebagai dasar negara kita.
In line with Ahmad Junaid, the Chief Inspector of the House, SETYA says there is no place for anti-Pancasila groups in the body of General Secretariat and Expertise Board of the House. According to him, the values embraced in General Secretariat of the House motto are religious, accountable, professional, and integrity should be put forward. Therefore, SETYA hopes with the celebration of Pancasila anniversary, it could infuse the spirit of Pancasila in every individual who works in the General Secretariat and Expertise Board of the House of Representatives of Republic of Indonesia.
Dalam perspektif dalam kinerja kita keseharian, inilah yang harus kita tanamkan jiwa dan nilai-nilai keberagaman dalam satu kesatuan. Bagaimana kita menjalin suatu soliditas, suatu persatuan di dalam meningkatkan kinerja di Sekretariat Jenderal dan Badan Keahlian DPR Ri ini.
Putri Ade and SETYA TVR Parlemen Report.
Japan and Indonesia will increase cooperation in sports affairs, especially in the preparation to host International Sport Festival, where Jakarta will be the host for 2018 Asian Games, while Tokyo will become the host of 2020 Summer Olympics.
It is expressed in the welcoming meeting of Committee for Interparliamentary Cooperation or BKSAP of the House with the new Japanese ambassador to Indonesia, Ishii Masafumi, which aims to introduce himself to the Indonesian Parliament. Chairman of Japanese Bilateral Cooperation Group, Aryo Joyo Hadikusumo, conveys bilateral relation between the two countries will continue to be improved, considering the relationship between the two countries has been well established, as there are many assistance provided by Japan to Indonesia in infrastructure development and mass rapid transit or MRT construction in Jakarta.
Seperti yang kita ketahui, hubungan diplomatik Indonesia dan Jepang sangat besar. Kalau kita lihat saja bukan hanya di Jakarta, tapi di seluruh Indonesia banyak sekali bantuan Jepang yang telah dilakukan kepada pemerintah Jepang dengan kita. Dan saat ini di kota Jakarta dan di kota-kota lain banyak juga proyek kerjasama. Contohnya MRT itu merupakan kerjasama antara Jepang dengan Indonesia, menggunakan dana, bantuan teknis, teknologi, dan juga dari Jepang.
Aryo continues, Indonesia and Japan will also form partnership in sports field, especially in preparation to host International Sport Festival. Aryo also explains Indonesia and Japan have similarities in hosting international sport events, where Indonesia will be host of 2018 Asian Games, while Tokyo will host the upcoming 2020 Summer Olympics.
Kita bicara tentang bagaimana Tokyo dan Jakarta punya kesamaan, yaitu sama-sama akan menjadi tuan rumah festival olahraga.
Ferdian and Rizky, TVR Parlemen Report.
Following to the third round of electricity subsidy revocation, which led to the increase of electricity tariff 900 volt ampere category, the House urges the government, especially State Electricity Company or PLN Corporation, to consider the impact of subsidy revocation, since it could lead to the widening of economic gap in the society that will also lead to inflation problems.
Member of Commission 7 of the House, Ikhwan Datu, regrets the third stage of electricity subsidy removal, which led to the electricity tariff rise. This policy is deemed as regrettable as it could directly impact low-income peoples and increase the number of people getting into poor category. According to Ikhwan, the increase of basic electricity tariff has also not been followed by adequate services, as there are still many power outages in some areas, which is still the focus of Commission 7 now. Besides, State Electricity Company or PLN Corp is not yet transparent in the electricity production process, both from upstream to downstream.
Supaya PLN jangan dulu naikkan lah, ditinjau kembali nih. Kalau bisa subsidi tetap ada lah. Kasihan masyarakat-masyarakat yang betul ekonominya lemah, perlu pemerintah membantu kepada masyarakat yang saya bilang ekonominya lemah, masyarakat miskin. Dan mereka harus transparan. Jangan seenak-enaknya naik, tapi kenyataannya pelayanannya buruk.
Meanwhile, the member of Commission 7 of the House, Wilgo Zainal, asserts the withdrawal of electricity and fuel subsidies by the government, which originally expected to finance the productive sector and infrastructure, are not seen as effective, since until now the expected effect still can't be felt by the people. Wilgo Zainal then explains the increase of electricity rates also contribute to the rise of economic inflation this year. Therefore, Wilgo demands the government to immediately evaluate the policy of subsidies revocation, which directly affecting the purchasing power of Indonesian people.
Digunakan untuk pembiayaan infrastruktur. Nah, kita berharap pemerintah kembali ya mereview subsidi-subsidi yang langsung berhubungan dengan rakyat untuk meningkatkan daya belinya. Daya beli meningkat, pasti konsumsi meningkat, maka produksi perdagangan pasti akan bergerak kembali.
From Ayu Ridwan and SETYA Dpr Parlemen report.
And that rounds up this edition of English Parliamentary News. On behalf of all the crew of Dpr Parliament, we would like to thank you for your attention. And we will meet again in the next edition of English Parliamentary News. From me, Rizky Awadi, once again, thanks for watching and goodbye.